Hey everybody, it's Will. So I wanted to show you something pretty cool today. I have not announced this yet on YouTube, but I think it's about time that I do it. This is the new Moon Mark 11, or at least I'm calling it the Mark 11 because it is kind of its own animal. It is based on the Mark 10. And what this is basically is the first Moon full titanium frame lock that's been in my lineup since, if you want to count the Mark 12, like 2012-ish time frame. I've had bolster locks in my lineup, but I've never had a full titanium frame lock. And even when you had the Mark 6, right, there was never an option for a titanium backspacer. And on this knife, check it out, titanium backspacer, also titanium pocket clip. So this required a little bit more engineering than you might initially suspect, because what this has on the inside, and this is the mechanical variation on the knife that warrants itself its own model, this has an IO stop on the inside, and you can kind of see them in there, because this is a thicker blade stock. And these have the IO stop on the inside of them, so they are sufficiently different from the Mark 10s in terms of the mechanics of the frame to warrant their own model. But they are built on the Mark 10 platform, so they have Mark 10 blades. So if you have a Mark 10, you can actually interchange parts between the Mark 11 and the Mark 10. They use the same pivots, same bearings, the same pocket clips, the same backspacers. It will interchange, which means, of course, now there is a variation of the Mark 10 that has a titanium backspacer and pocket clips. So those are available. You can order them on my website. But if you want to get a Mark 11 with full titanium, those are available too. So, people have been asking me for ages, like, hey, Will, yeah, that's really cool and all. We love your bolster locks, but build us a full titanium knife. And I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually do it yet, but here we go. This has a very thick titanium backspacer, very thick titanium pocket clip. It's all done in billet 6AL4V. And because of that, it's more than just a triviality to make it work. It actually is quite a lot of milling, quite a lot of machining. They are a little on the pricey side when you get them with the titanium, so I made them base models, $600, which I think is not a lot of money for a custom handmade American-made knife. And I made them base price with G10, and then of course you can add titanium to it. So these are considered to be upgrades, even though I kind of think that the standard Mark 11 should probably come with the titanium, because they give them such a robust, solid feel. But you have that option. It makes it available to more people. Not everybody can go out and shell out $800 for a knife. So this makes it more accessible to people to just have the G10 standard. But I highly recommend the titanium backspacer and clip. It's a really, really nice touch. It makes this knife feel really ridiculously solid, and they feel solid as it is, but I mean, this really kicks up to 11. It's really pretty impressive. So unfortunately, and I think I mentioned, I'm calling it the Mark 11 for right now. One of the problems I've been having recently is Facebook has decided that knives are now weapons, and therefore they cannot be sold on Facebook. And they've started with certain names and certain kinds of recognition of various different knives. And they have been targeting my knives in particular because of the MKX nomenclature. There's weapons called the Mark 23 and the Mark 18 and Mark 262 Mod 0 ammunition and stuff like that. And unfortunately, because these are called, Mark 11, Mark 6, Mark 10, etc., Facebook's retarded algorithms have basically decided that they are, knives and weapons of war or something like that. A moniker, which, hey, you know what, I kind of wear proudly. But the unfortunate side effect of that is I did a lot of my sales on Facebook. It was kind of a nice way that I could interact with customers and chat and talk about the knives. And if you had any questions, I could answer them, etc. And unfortunately, they've taken that away from me. So I don't really know what kind of platform I really want to use for sales, because it seems like a lot of people are not going over to my website. I'm still kind of thinking about exactly what I want to do, but I want to really encourage you, please do go over to my website. Now, they haven't restricted my Facebook page. I do have a page, and I'll link it in the description below, where you can actually get to my business page, where I can actually still link, the actual knives that go up for sale. So if you're using Facebook, I highly suggest you follow my page if you're interested in my work. But please do keep me in mind if you're interested in a knife. I'd love to earn your business, because this has really hurt my bottom line, which hurts my ability to actually provide for my family. Typical Facebook, right? They don't care how many American families they hurt, as long as they can enact their own political agenda. But unfortunately, that's just the case. I am still trying to fight it, but they've basically told me, screw you, Will. We don't care about you. We'd much rather have our politics than allow you to sell your knives. They don't really care that much about small American businesses, as long as their liability and their attorneys are happy over there at Facebook HQ. So I guess it's whatever Zuckerberg, aka Data from Star Trek, has decided that he wants. He tries to imitate humankind on occasion, and in this particular instance, is clear lack of empathy for other human beings, or for human beings, I should say, because other human beings implies he might be one. It's just not showing. So please do, if you are going to check out my Facebook, please go over there. I would certainly appreciate the support. I'll also leave my Instagram page in the description below. If you would, please follow me over there. And if you're considering getting one of my knives, even secondary market, I certainly would appreciate the business. I know there's a lot of guys out there who just can't afford to buy brand new, but I'll do what I can to, massage the pricing and whatnot and work with you. If you're interested in one of my knives, I'd really appreciate earning your business, because, like I said, this is how I'm providing for my family. So it's always a little rough, when big companies start to put you under their thumb and screw with your ability to actually earn a living. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that say, oh, Will, you're my favorite maker. I'd really love to support you. I've got 3 of your knives. I traded for them on Blade Forums. What can I do? And my suggestion would be, I'd love to earn your business. Give me the opportunity to build you a knife of your dreams, and I'll make it super freaking awesome, custom order to your spec. You can have exactly what you want. My books are going to stay open from here on out, basically, because I can't afford to close them. With companies like Facebook trying to target my business, for selling knives and doing what I do for a living. So they're going to stay open, and I'm going to do the absolute best I possibly can to make it worth your while. I'll make the pricing work. I'll do whatever I have to do, but like I said, I got to provide for my family. So the Mk11 is definitely, I think, a really great knife. It's a winner. The solidity of the knife is something that has to be felt to be fully appreciated. It just is absolutely rock solid, and I think this cleanliness of the look is really something that the Mark 10 is really cool. It's nice and angular, but you don't get the full brutalism of the design here. Because look at this knife, right? In terms of the overall design, this lacks all the screws and mounting hardware and everything that went here on the Mark 10. So what you get is this giant slab of titanium. And notice what you don't see on the back end of the knife, right? You don't see screws coming through here. This is blind drilled and tapped on here. So what you get is this monolithic piece of titanium. It screams quality. And the guys who are really into machining and whatnot, they look at this and they go, oh gosh, he's really doing blind taps in 6AL 4V titanium. It's like one of those things. It's like, oh my God, are you serious? You're actually doing that? It's really hard to do. And it's something that screams premium. You see on almost every other knife, they've got screws down here showing, and it's something that's totally unique to my work. You're not going to see that on here. The only piece of mounting hardware that you see on this side of the knife, and if I had the ability to eliminate it, I would, but I don't know how physically I could do it, is the pivot right here. And even on this side of the knife, you've got the holes holding the pocket clip together, but it covers up the back end mounting hardware down here. The mounting hardware and everything is going through this monolithic backspacer on here, this giant piece of titanium back here. So in effect, what you have is a cleanliness of design that I think is continuous really well on this particular knife, and it really shines through in the Mk11. The Mark 10 is really cool with the bolster lock and the way that works, but the Mk11 just has that brutalist, simplistic, well, not simplistic because it's deceptively complex design aspect going on there, and it's really cool. To somebody like me, I just absolutely love it. And then you add onto it the little features. This one's got jeweling on the inside, the ability to see that IO stop up in there. It's it looks really awesome. This one here's got that nice Tonto with the swedges on there. You can see the geometry of the top of the blade spine, all the little chamfers and everything. It works out really good, and you know, the typical Moon smoothness that you'd expect from a guy who's been making flippers and nothing but flippers for like the past 7 years. So yeah, if you're interested in one, definitely go visit my website. It's www.willmooncustomknives.com. Like I said, I'd love to earn your business. You know, let me know if there's something I can do to make things work, or if you've got any questions on custom orders or whatever. My books are open. It's support@willmooncustomknives.com is my email address. You know, like I said, I'd love to do whatever I can to make it work for you, and look forward to what the future holds here with it. You know, hopefully we can get the Facebook stuff squared away, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that all going forward. But yeah, that's the Mark 11, and I'll give you one last look at that Warncliffe there. Absolutely gorgeous. Thanks a bunch, guys. I'll see you later.